Our TVs and social media feeds are just filled with absolutely graphic images from tragedies across the U.S. and the world. But if you're seeing it, it's pretty likely some of your kids are seeing it as well. We're bringing in Jonquil Newland right now because she's here to tell us if your child has access to anything. She spoke with a child psychologist who's going to give you a little bit of advice on what you should talk to your kids about and how young is too young. Jonquil.
Yeah, Rebecca, if your child has access to one of these, an iPad or a laptop like this, they likely can gain access to the tragic events you may try and shield them from. But a local psychologist says shielding them may be the biggest mistake you can make.
It's difficult to turn on the TV or scroll through your phone without seeing images like these. In the past several months, we've seen terror attacks both overseas and on U.S. soil, mass shootings in San Bernardino, Orlando, Dallas, and of course there's the police shootings in Baton Rouge and Minnesota that have spurred recent protests across the nation. It's inevitable. At some point, young eyes were and are watching.
There's so much going on in the world in terms of violence on the news around the world, and a lot of times kids see this. You show me how that you're doing that?
Brett Shapiro is a child psychologist and a father of two 9-year-old twins, Isabel and Hayden.
You can make any pattern.
He says young children may find it difficult to understand the difference between reality and fantasy.
Oftentimes children learn from what they see. So if they see a violent act, they think it's normal.
He says parents should not be afraid to ask how their children feel. Educating them on what causes violence and the consequences of it is imperative.
So next,
he also adds parents should not shy away from their children's questions.
Parents need to be calm, they need to be patient, they need to be reserved in the sense that if they're caught off guard with it, that's the perfect time to kind of sit down at the child's level.
But how young is too young? Shapiro says that depends on the child's development, but shielding them may be the biggest mistake you can make.
Even if parents shielded them without having a phone or some sort of technology, they're going into environments where there is that opportunity, there is that technology. So to say that children don't see that, I don't know if that's a fair thing to say.
Shapiro added schools and classrooms should consider open discussions about violence. And if there's one thing parents should shield their children from, it's violent video games.